You might be sleeping next to an emotional traitor and still believe she's your loyal partner, because female infidelity doesn't always show. You sense it, you smell it, you feel it in the silences, in the subtle shifts, in the eyes that no longer look for you. The problem isn't that she's cheating on you. The problem is you don't even suspect it. While you're giving her everything, she's giving her desire to someone else. And if you don't recognize the signs, you're not just going to lose your woman. You're going to lose respect for yourself. Today, I'm going to reveal the 5 clearest and most overlooked signs a woman leaves behind when she starts betraying you. And the last one is the cruelest, because it makes you believe she still loves you. I'm Celia, and I'm not here to comfort you. I'm here to open your eyes. Stay until the end, because this video might be the reason you stop being the last one to know. Have you ever found it suspicious that your woman has stopped arguing with you? That she no longer complains, doesn't get upset, doesn't question you about anything? Does it seem like progress? Like you finally found peace? No, that's not peace. It's emotional abandonment in disguise. It's the most dangerous kind of disconnection, masked as serenity. You're at the first sign in this video. She's not arguing anymore. She's ignoring you. And if you don't see it, you'll keep believing that silence means harmony, when really, it's bottled up contempt. When a woman still chooses you, she challenges you. She argues because she cares. She pushes back because she wants to be seen. When a woman still desires you, she gets angry, she reacts, she takes things personally. Because anger is still a bond. Because emotional conflict isn't the opposite of love, it's part of it. But when she stops arguing, when nothing matters to her anymore, when you tell her you'll be home late and she just nods, when you forget her birthday and she doesn't say a word, that's not understanding. That's disinterest. That's the exact moment when she no longer expects anything from you, because she's already getting everything from someone else. Let me tell you what I saw in a session a few years ago. A man came in, shattered. His wife hadn't officially left him. They were still living together, still eating at the same table, still sharing the same bed, but everything felt dead. He told me, "Celia, we haven't argued in months. I think we're finally okay." And when I asked him when was the last time she looked at him with desire, he didn't know what to say. You know why? Because he confused the absence of conflict with the presence of love. And while he was celebrating that so-called peace, she'd been desiring someone else for months. She never argued, because emotionally she was already gone. A woman who doesn't fight isn't necessarily a woman at peace. Sometimes she's a woman who's lost her fire, who's already given herself emotionally to someone else, who doesn't want to waste another word on you because she no longer sees you as her man. She sees you as a housemate, as a useful ghost. And that's the most humiliating thing for a man, to keep believing the bond is alive just because there's no yelling, when in reality, you're already dead in her desire. You don't need her to scream at you, you need her to look at you like a man. And if that's not happening anymore, if silence has replaced conflict, if there's no more tension, it's because there's no more choice. She's not avoiding you out of maturity. She's avoiding you because she no longer cares. And if you don't wake up, if you keep mistaking indifference for emotional growth, you'll become the perfect husband, the ideal provider, the good man she no longer wants to touch, and who doesn't even have the courage to suspect it. And when she stops arguing with you, when you think you finally found harmony, what comes next is that she's glued to her phone. But it's not just that she keeps it close, it's that she guards it like it's her lover. We've arrived at the second key point in this video. She protects her phone like it's a lover. Because when a woman starts hiding access to her digital world, it's not about privacy. It's because that space holds the life she doesn't want you to find. In the female psyche, there's a sacred space where unspoken desire hides. The cell phone. It's the new locked room, the new personal diary. And when a woman desires you, when she respects you, when there's nothing to hide, her phone is just there, in plain sight, without tension. But when that desire shifts to someone else, when her emotional and sexual energy is being redirected, her phone becomes a vault. Passwords, locks, silenced notifications. She takes it to the bathroom, puts it face down, hides it under the pillow, and you, with your male intuition asleep, don't ask, because you don't want to seem insecure, because you don't want to stir up conflict. But the conflict is already there. You're just not seeing it. Stoicism isn't about controlling others. It's about discernment, about seeing reality without sugarcoating it. And if you're a stoic man, a man who no longer falls for appearances, you know that when a woman's phone becomes untouchable, it's because there's something inside you're not meant to touch, and that something is often a conversation with another man, a deleted message, a photo you never saw, a voice note that wasn't for you. Because emotional cheating starts there, in digital desire, in written fantasy. In that good morning, she no longer sends you, but sends to someone else. And that hurts more than a kiss, because the body can lie, but a message carries intention. It carries desire. It takes time. It's emotional investment. It's a connection that builds day by day, while you're out working, providing, thinking you're building something solid. But she, silently, is writing a different story, one where you're no longer a character. And if you don't see it, if you keep thinking trust means never asking questions, if you keep accepting the passcodes, the locked doors, the secrecy, then you're choosing not to know. You're choosing to be betrayed gracefully. A strong man doesn't need to check a woman's phone. He doesn't need to make a scene. He just needs to see, to observe, to notice the changes, and to act. Because when a woman starts guarding her phone like she's guarding her soul, she's not protecting her privacy. She's protecting her betrayal. And if you don't set boundaries, if you don't make her feel that what she hides is driving you away, then you'll end up being the man who feeds the house while someone else feeds her desire. And while you're trying to trust her, trying not to seem controlling, trying to respect her digital space, something else starts to shift. Something more subtle, more intimate, more painful. Because even if her phone doesn't buzz in front of you, her body still speaks. And when it does, it tells you what you don't want to admit. We've reached the third point in this video, and this is where things truly begin to change. Your scent doesn't bother her anymore. It makes her uncomfortable. Don't underestimate this shift, because a woman's body reacts with a truth her mind hasn't yet dared to speak. When a woman still desires you, she leans in. She seeks you out. She lets herself be held. She enjoys your scent. She breathes you in with a mix of tenderness and hunger. But when that desire fades, when someone else starts living in her fantasy, your scent becomes foreign. She hugs you stiffly. She pulls away subtly. She says you're too sweaty, that your hands are cold, that she's just not in the mood, and you, confused, think she's stressed, tired, just needs some space. No. What she needs is for you to stop touching her, because you're no longer the man her body chooses. From a place of raw emotional psychology, desire can't be faked for long. And when a woman gives herself to someone else, even just in her mind, her nervous system rewires her attraction. She no longer lights up around you. Your voice doesn't spark her anymore. Your scent, your sweat, your presence makes her uneasy, because another scent is already haunting her. Because another man, even if he's not physically there, has already taken up space in her mind, in her fantasies, in her most private intimacy. This is where you need to apply a practical strategy: physical silence. Stop reaching for her. Stop kissing her if she turns her face. Stop hugging her if her body tenses up. Stop forcing the connection. Why? Because when you keep chasing the body of a woman who no longer desires you, you become invisible. And worse, you humiliate yourself without realizing it. Physical silence is how you draw a boundary without a single word. It's how you reclaim respect without needing a fight. And it works because it creates a void. A space where, if there's still something left, she'll feel your absence. She'll notice the lack of your touch. And if she feels nothing, then you already have your answer. I saw a man apply this with brutal wisdom. He stopped kissing her, stopped sleeping with her just out of habit, stopped insisting, and in less than 3 weeks, she started looking at him differently. Why? Because desire feeds on contrast. not on pressure. And that contrast brought him back to the place he had lost, the place of a man who respects himself enough not to beg for lukewarm affection. Before we move on to the 2 most dangerous signs, subscribe if this is opening your eyes. Hit like if you've ever felt something fade but didn't know how to name it. And tell me in the comments what country you're watching from. Leave a short, clear sentence that marks a turning point. I respect my body, because the most powerful revelations are still ahead, and the last one will hurt the most if you understand it too late. And when you stop touching her, when you learn to read her body's rejection as a sign, not a challenge, you're likely to notice something even more unsettling. She's becoming more attractive, more attentive to her appearance, more careful with the details. But not for you. We've reached the 4th point in this video. She's making herself more beautiful, but not for you. And this is one of the saddest mistakes many men make, believing that sudden change is a sign the relationship is healing, when in reality, it's the prelude to loss. A woman doesn't transform for no reason. She doesn't just bloom out of nowhere. When she starts putting on more makeup, hitting the gym, buying new lingerie, dressing up even for a trip to the grocery store, but at the same time refuses affection, avoids intimacy, pulls away emotionally, it's not a sign she's trying to reconnect. It's the migration of her desire. She's reviving her attractiveness, yes, but for someone else. And you, in good faith, think it's for her confidence, her health, and maybe that's part of it. But deep down, what's changed is her need to feel desired by someone who isn't you. The danger is in how that change starts to affect your mind, because when you see her looking better, more alive, more radiant, you feel drawn to her again. And from that renewed desire, you begin to try harder, you do favors, you cook for her, you offer massages, you plan dates, but she doesn't respond, because it's not for you. Because while you're celebrating the change, she's offering it, maybe unconsciously, to another man who's watching her from a distance, from work, from social media, from memory. And that's where you start to sink without even realizing it. The fatal mistake is thinking that a woman who beautifies herself in the middle of a cold relationship is doing it out of self-love. Sometimes, yes, but many times, it's redirected desire. It's the thrill of new attention. It's the validation from someone else who's making her feel what you no longer do, not because you're less of a man, but because her energy has shifted. Because her emotional map no longer places you at the center, but on the outskirts. And you, caught in the trap, start competing, trying to win back a woman who's no longer playing on your team, fighting for a beauty that's no longer looking your way. And what does that create in you? Frustration, silent humiliation. You start to feel inadequate. You look in the mirror and compare yourself. You wonder why she's blooming while you're withering. But it's not that you're losing value. It's that you're idealizing her in the middle of her escape. You're missing the core of what's happening. She's glowing because she's in hunt mode, and without realizing it, you've become her background, the spectator of her awakening, for someone else. This is where you need stoic clarity. Don't assume, observe, don't idealize, interpret. And if you see her getting more beautiful, but she doesn't touch you, doesn't seek you out, doesn't look at you with hunger, don't fall into the effort trap. Don't humiliate yourself trying to recover something that wasn't lost by accident, but by choice. Because when a woman desires someone else, she glows. But that glow doesn't always light your way. Sometimes it blinds you. So you won't see that she's already turned you off. And if after all that, after she stops arguing, turns into a shadow with her phone, rejects your touch, and blossoms for someone else, you still believe there's an emotional connection, that there are deep conversations left, that there's still affection, then you've reached the most twisted point, the most confusing, the most subtle. You've arrived at the 5th point in this video. She starts talking to you like a therapist, not like a woman, and this is where many men get lost for good. She no longer desires you, but instead of pulling away, telling you the truth, owning her distance, she starts feeding you lines that sound mature, spiritual, compassionate. I just want you to be happy. You deserve the best. You need to heal your wounds. And you, starved for affection, take that as a sign that she still cares. But it's not love. It's guilt dressed up as empathy. It's the language of someone who doesn't want to sleep with you anymore, but also doesn't want to feel like the bad guy. This role play, where she becomes your emotional therapist, is devastating because it traps you in a dynamic where there's no more desire, no more tension, no more polarity, just analysis, reflections, pretty phrases that cut you without noise, because a woman who speaks to you like a therapist no longer sees you as a man, she sees you as a patient, a project, a burden. And the most painful part is that you believe it. You cling to this understanding version of her, thinking it's growth, when in reality, it's avoidance. The consequences of falling into that role are brutal. You lose your center. You become dependent on her emotional validation. You stop asking for kisses. You ask for advice. You stop seeking her body. You seek her approval. And slowly, you become what you were never meant to be, the tamed man, the dimmed down man, emotionally domesticated by a woman who no longer respects you. Because respect doesn't come from kind words, it comes from desire. And when a woman no longer wants you but keeps offering guidance, what she really wants isn't to help you, it's to control how you leave. So how do you break this? Not with flowers, not with letters, not with thank you for supporting me. You break it by ending the game, by refusing to play the patient, by stopping your search for comfort in someone who no longer wants to touch you. Next time she says, "You need to heal," look at her calmly and say, "I don't need therapy. I need a woman who desires me." And then stay silent, because that silence will be louder than 1,000 arguments. That silence will return you to your place, the man who doesn't get analyzed, but who gets felt. This is the shift. This is the mindset you need to reclaim. You're not a case study. You're a man. And if she no longer sees you that way, if she speaks to you with compassion instead of passion, if she gives you words but not her body, then you're no longer in her fire. You're just in her pity. And brother, there's nothing worth holding on to in that, because desire isn't rational. It's felt. And if you're not igniting it, then you're giving it away. And you weren't born to be tamed. You were born to burn. If you've made it this far, you're not like the rest, because most men disconnect the moment something hurts, the moment they feel exposed, the moment they realize their woman no longer chooses them. But you stayed. You faced the truth. And whether you believe it or not, that already sets you apart from a man who lets himself be broken and one who's beginning to wake up. You didn't come here looking for comfort. You came looking for clarity. And that means facing what you didn't want to see, that she no longer argues with you because she no longer cares, that her phone hides another life, that her body pulls away, that she's getting dressed up for someone else, and that now she talks to you like you're her patient, not her man. That's not love. That's emotional death disguised as maturity. And if you don't see it, if you don't act now, tomorrow you'll be even more alone, more confused, and more domesticated. Drop a short, clear phrase in the comments, "I am wisdom." And tell me which country you're watching from, because this channel isn't global, it's personal. It's not for the masses. It's for men like you who dare to hear what no one else is willing to say. I'm Celia, psychologist, therapist, a woman who's heard what men rarely hear from their partner's mouth. And this channel, House of Wisdom, exists for one reason: to tell you the truth without sugarcoating it, to give you back the respect, the clarity, the energy you lost between soft excuses and broken promises. Subscribe if you haven't yet, not to boost a number, but to be part of a community of awake, clear-minded, dignified men. Share this video with that friend who still thinks his woman is just tired. Maybe what he needs isn't therapy, but a truth like this. And don't go just yet. Watch the videos that are about to pop up on screen. Choose the one that makes you the most uncomfortable. Because right there, where it hurts the most, is where your real change begins.